The vet is in on KFGO. Dr. Derrine Winning is back in studio. Dr. Winning, welcome back to the KFGO studios.
It's great to be back with you today.
Okay, I wanted to start out with something that I read in the Washington Post recently, and it's probably something that's already been on your radar. So, but I just thought it was too cute not to mention. There was a study that said, in fact, that dogs can tell when you're happy, sad, or frustrated. And I'm sure you've read about this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I have.
And the co-author of the study said that, as far as they know, it's the first time there's actual proof that dogs can distinguish between faces expressing two very similar emotions. Do you think that that's true? Maybe this is the first of its kind?
Yeah,
Maybe?
that could be. But I also know, body language aside, you have to be careful about your body language when you're talking to your dog. But if you just sit there and smile at them versus scowl, you can tell.
You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell they understand that.
So these researchers put dogs awake and unrestrained in MRI scanners to see the activity in different regions of their brains while they looked at images of human facial expressions. And they found one thing that Dr. Derrine Winning is saying we already knew. Dogs can tell the difference between joy and a blank stare and between happy and angry faces. The brain scans also showed something novel, they say. The dogs were making distinctions between fear and anger and fear and sadness, showing they can tell the difference between somewhat nuanced negative emotions.
Now, that's interesting to me because the difference between fear and sadness, or fear and what?
Fear and anger and fear and sadness.
Yeah.
Fear and anger, yeah.
So, to me, it seems like it would be more black and white, like happy, unhappy.
Right.
But they can definitely tell.
They get those
subtle
nuances.
things.
Yeah. They're smarter than we think they are. Always, I think, right?
I think so.
It seems that way. If you have any questions for Dr. Winning, you can text in now, 35270. If you have a pet question, you can also call us at 237-5948, 800-880-5346. I heard something interesting over the weekend because we were in someone's really big backyard in the country. And they were saying that acorns are bad or can be bad for dogs or poisonous to dogs. I did not know this.
Yeah, you don't want them to be eating acorns. You also don't want them to be eating black walnuts either. And, a lot of people, those trees are common.
Yeah.
Especially in rural areas.
For sure.
So, yep, you have to be careful about that.
The acorns were weird that were coming off this year, and that's what started the conversation. Are dogs, do they particularly like them? Do they seek those out or not necessarily?
Yeah, it hasn't been a huge concern that I've seen over my 30 years of practice, but it can happen. I know the other thing that sticks in my memory was, probably about 20 years ago, I had a dog coming in for GI signs. And we couldn't figure out what was going on with that dog. It was constant. It was only late summer.
Yeah.
And we finally test after test after test, and everything was turning out normal. The dog was going into the garden and eating green tomatoes off the vines. And that was making it, when he stopped eating the green tomatoes, everything was fine.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, a question in a 35270. I think I already know your answer. Ask the vet, are bully sticks okay to give to a dog?
In my opinion, no. I wouldn't feed them. Some of those...
you guys, they're terrifying. I had to dig one out of my dog's throat once, and it's like a child choking. It's the scariest thing. Because they're so little, and yeah, they might chew on them enough, but they might not and try to swallow them. And they're hard.
Yeah, in some of those products like pig ears, bully sticks, you have to worry about salmonella. And so...
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I never, ever, ever feed them to my dogs, ever.
Are you worried about the choking hazard of them?
Yeah, I worry about that too. And that's part of the reason why, it's so hard finding the appropriate chew toy for dogs, especially aggressive chewers.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to give my dog the rolled rawhide. Then we broke a tooth on that. So no more of that. Anything that you can bend, break, or twist with your own two hands is fine to give your dog. So then we went to the chip rawhides. You know, the ones in the
we did those
rectangle.
for a while too, yeah.
So those were great, but they choke on them. It gets stuck back in their soft palate back there, and you have to reach in and grab it out. And so after once, reaching down my dog's throat, I'm like, okay, now that's off the table.
You're right. Maybe it was a chip. I remember those because you can buy them in bags. That's probably what we were giving them. But the bully sticks, same way. I mean, they're not bendable. They're not bendable.
And so I just walk right past them. Same with, you'll see some cooked bones in the store that have basting on them. No, I wouldn't feed those either.
Okay. Good question. You can keep texting at 35270. How has the tick season been so far?
The ticks are starting to slow down a little bit, I'm pleased to say. Nice. I've noticed it with my own dogs. We don't have to, do tick checks so frequently throughout the day anymore. So that's good. Now, lakes in Minnesota, all bets are off there.
Yeah.
But North Dakota, they seem to be drying up a little.
Well, we were even out in Bismarck a couple of weeks ago, and the lake that my friends are on were like, they found blue-green algae, and I immediately thought, obviously, we don't want to be in it, but they were trying to keep their dogs out of it. I haven't heard of any near share, at least not the obvious ones we always know that get them with really stagnant water, but I don't know if that's been more of a concern with the drier, hotter temps.
Yeah, I haven't had any come in this year, but it's always a concern. And I'm always, as I'm driving down the highway in rural areas, I'm always on the lookout for that. Just looking for that pea green, soupy water. Stay clear of that.
How about Benny bones for dachshunds and Westies?
Benny bones.
It's BENIBONES.
We'll have to look
Google
those up.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
look those up. Oh, I see. I think you're going to know them when you see them. Okay. We'll get back to those in a minute. Are antlers okay for dogs?
No. If you can't bend, break, or twist it with your own two hands, it's not going to be okay. The problem is they can break their teeth. So along the treat category, getting kind of veering off the chewing category and onto the treat category. Oh yeah, Benny bones. Yeah, I wouldn't feed those either. Sorry, folks. The treats that are jerky type treats, I probably have a conversation with an owner about this maybe once a week. I don't recommend jerky treats for the simple reason some of them have been associated with kidney problems. So we don't want to feed jerky treats. And the first time that I see like sugar in the urine that's not a diabetic dog, the first thing I look at is, okay, are you feeding jerky treats? Because this could be a kidney problem in the tubules of the kidneys related to jerky treats. So try to steer clear of them too if you can.
Oh, no. Dr. Derrine Winning is with us from Valley Vet. The vet is in here on KFGO. Someone says, my dog has fall allergies and turns his white paws reddish because he chews on them. Do you have any recommendations to help slow this down?
There are so many good allergy medications out there now. And so I would suggest you visit with your vet about it. Have your dog go in, get a physical exam, and I've done oral, medications. You can do injectable medications, whatever works for your dog and your lifestyle and the budget.
I'm curious what you do now if you want to text back for the allergies. Like, are you giving an oral allergy med or?
Most of my clients know, like, this is the time of year where we start seeing those skin things with earnest. I mean, they're coming in now. And most of the clients know they've tried the oral meds in the past and they're like, hey, that worked great. I want to try that. It's time for me to try that again. And, if they've been coming in regularly and I've seen them, recently, I'll just go ahead and get them some of the meds. But sometimes it takes coming in because you want to make sure there's no skin infection, like a bacterial infection or a fungal infection or anything else going on that you're just putting a Band-Aid on the problem when, there's fleas, for example,
Right.
or something else that needs to be addressed.
Can the cooler temps cause more arthritis, stiffness in older dogs?
I think they do. They do for me.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah. If they do for people, they probably do for dogs.
Yeah. So I think that for sure animals can get stiffer in the winter. It's harder for them to get. I've had clients say that to me too, that their dog has a harder time getting up the deck steps when it's, cold outside as opposed to the summer months. And two, in the summer, they're just more active. Those joints stay limbered up and they're moving around a little bit easier. In the winter, we all get a little sedentary.
Yeah. Do you do anything for arthritis in dogs?
For osteoarthritis, again, there's more and more drug options available. We start generally on the really benign side would be giving supplements, things like my new favorite supplement is Regenza, which is a glucosamine supplement. I really like it. It helps decrease the dependence on prescription medications. So supplements like Regenza, even Glycoflex, Cosequin, those kinds of things. Fish oil, we've talked about fish oil in the past. I like Nordic Naturals or Wellactin. Then you take a step towards non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications, which are prescription in dogs. There's lots of varieties of those. Just because one doesn't seem to work or causes some side effects for your dog, you can switch into a different drug under the same drug category and try that and see if it works a little bit better for you. And then you get into some of the injectable, like monoclonal antibody therapies, which I usually reserve for, I've tried everything else and now I need something, it's this or nothing. So yeah.
Regenza, I found it Rejensa.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Can you buy that in town? Like, can you buy it from Valley Vet?
We stock it. It can be a little challenging to find, so we do stock it. And I really didn't think that it was going to be that great of a thing, but one of the doctors, Dr. Vanessa had come over from practicing in Minnesota, and she's like, you got to try this supplement on some of your patients. And so I tried it. And the owners are coming back saying that stuff works.
Really?
And yes, it
for
can
bigger
decrease
dogs that are having like joint related issues or yeah. Very interesting. Okay, Regenza, you can look it up online or swing by Valley Vet and get some.
It's right there on the shelf.
There you go. I love it. When that person messaged in and said the allergies were causing the reddishness on the white paws, the reddishness is what they get around their eyes too, right? Oh,
that's okay. Bodily fluids in dogs, things like tears and saliva, contain porphyrins, which stain the hair coat, white hair coats especially, kind of that reddish brown color. And it can be really hard to get out. And that's a telltale sign when a dog walks into the vet's office, and you see that red staining on the feet, on the tops of the feet, that they've been licking their feet. And so you can ask, hey, has your dog been licking its feet? And by the way, foot licking and rubbing their faces. Those are two telltale hallmark signs of allergies in dogs.
This person says, if I'm allergic to cats, does that mean all cats? Which is an interesting question. Do you know about cat allergies at all in people?
So they have diets now for that. So
they do?
Yeah, Purina has put out is it Live Clear? I forget what the diet's name is, but you can feed this diet to your cat and it reduces the likelihood of you becoming allergic or being allergic to the dander of the cat. And
does it actually work?
Yes. Yeah, I've had people try it.
Mm-hmm. Because it does happen that sometimes people get a cat and then they become allergic later. Mm-hmm. And then I suppose that's a great solution to it if you can switch your cat to that. Do they have that for dogs?
No, just cats.
Are they working on it?
Not that I know of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what's in the food that makes their dander not.
It's been a while since I've
Huh.
read up and
Okay.
read up on
Sorry.
it.
Sorry for the pop quiz.
Yeah.
That's so interesting, though. Huh.
We should Google that. I think it's called Live Clear.
Okay. What is the
Purina makes
cat
it
food for allergies?
for humans allergic to cats.
Yeah, it is Live Clear.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. And it's kind of all one word, capital LIVE, capital CLEAR.
And I think it has something to do with saliva of the cat. But anyway, I can read up on it.
It's designed to reduce human allergic reactions to cat rather than treating allergies in the cats themselves. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Like neutralizes FELD1, the primary allergen found in cat saliva.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Okay. So it's not necessarily. It has more to do with the saliva.
Well, it's with the dander.
Sure.
So
and
cats
they clean
are grooming.
themselves.
Yes,
they
and
groom themselves. Okay, that
Mhm.
makes sense. The key ingredient uses a specific protein sourced from eggs, and the egg protein binds this FeLD1 in a cat's mouth when they eat. So it doesn't necessarily alter your cat's physiology or like stop them from shedding, but it does something to their saliva. So when they groom themselves, because they're not actually allergic to the pet hair, they're allergic to the saliva on the pet hair.
There's some antigen there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is so interesting. Okay, you are on KFGO. I'm sorry I didn't get your name, caller. Do you have a question for Dr. Winning?
Yes, I do. My name is Gloria.
Hi, Gloria. Go ahead.
Okay, Dr. Winning. I have a rescue cat. We've had her for about 2.5 years. She's great. She's pretty overweight, but she sheds so horrible. I have hair all over, and she's not a slick-haired, but she's not a long-haired cat either. Is there any kind of food or something that I can give her? I have never had so much hair in my house.
There's really not anything that I have come upon that will stop the shedding completely. The best thing that I have found is brushing, if the cat will let you brush her.
God, she loves to get brushed. I brush her all the time.
Yeah, that's the best thing, is just getting the hair out of the coat. And you can experiment with different styles of brushes, and there's so many of them out there. And, we have to remember that hairs in cats, just like every other creature, go through life cycles. And so there's going to be certain times of the year where it's going to be absolutely worse than others.
I haven't run into that time of year yet.
It's just every day, all day.
Absolutely, and I try to brush her every day, and it's like I just made another dog or another cat.
Can you safely, thank you, Gloria. Thanks for your question. Appreciate it. Can you safely brush a cat every day? Like that will be okay for their skin?
Yeah, you can. You just don't want to keep going over the same spot over and over and over again in the same episode. So I would say once a day brushing is perfectly fine for a cat. Have you ever tried those Furminator brushes?
Yes.
Okay, so I really like those.
I do too.
But they can cause some skin irritation if you keep going over the same spot over and over. But they really they pull that hair, and the undetached hairs.
They
out.
do. I think that's the brush that scared me to overbrushing, because it does give you a lot of warnings on it about how like really it's only safe to use like once over a spot and then leave it be, because they do work. They work really well. Thanks, Gloria. Appreciate it. Deb, you were on with Dr. Winning. Go ahead, Deb.
Hi, I have a pug that is 6.5. Hi, I have a pug that is 6.5. For the last 2 months, I have been having her anal glands extracted. Drained, like almost weekly. And she still is scooching. I've taken her to a groomer. the groomer said, well, I can do the outer glands, but I can't do the inner glands. You have to go to a vet. Take her to a vet, and the vet does the outer glands and says there's no such thing as inner glands. And it's like weekly now that she's getting ready for me to take her back again. So I'm just wondering if I'm doing the right thing.
So scooting and irritation around the anal area can be related to anal glands, but you have to realize that these are glands. And so you can express them. And yes, your vet is correct. There is no outer and inner gland. You can express them externally versus internally. And that's probably what I'm guessing your groomer meant is she did external expression. So the glands produce material, scent material, and glands do what they're supposed to do, and they continuously produce it. So you can have a dog that expresses his anal glands or gets his anal glands expressed, and they can be back to the same way they were the next day. I've seen it happen. They're just, the glands are doing their job. So then you have to start asking, if it's not a pathological problem with the gland, is it maybe related to allergies? And so then I start thinking about, is this a dietary thing? Anal glands are meant to be expressed as the dog goes to the bathroom. And so if that's not happening, sometimes you can bulk up the stool with fiber, and that helps the glands express naturally on their own, so you don't have to do it. But if it's an allergy, a true allergy to diet, sometimes doing a hydrolyzed protein diet can help. Sometimes it's environmental allergies. And so we were talking earlier about different allergy medication options, and sometimes I'll start them on allergy meds just to see if that makes a difference. And the hard thing with skin disease, the hardest thing is that many times you don't know what's going to work until you try it. And so that can be frustrating for everybody, but those are some options that I keep in the back of my mind for anal gland.
So I guess I'm kind of confused because she doesn't like itch all over. It's just been the gland. So that's possible that it's just allergies. And she's not constipated.
No,
every day. So
it is possible that it's allergies, and that's how it manifests for her. Yes.
Okay. All
so
right.
good luck with that. Yeah,
Thank
you can try diets and you can try allergy meds. I'd talk to your vet about that.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Deb. Appreciate your call. Mary, you were on with Dr. Winning. Go ahead, Mary.
Yes, we have an almost 3-year-old Aussie Doodle, and recently she just has been doing an excessive amount of licking around her mouth. Now, I have not had her groomed for about, so what I'm talking about is a good bath, a good blowout, and a good haircut for about 3 months, but we give her baths. But I'm wondering, why would she suddenly start doing an excessive amount of licking?
So she's licking her lips, smacking her lips, or is she rubbing her face?
Nope, her tongue just goes around her face. You know how a dog, an Aussie Doodle has a poodle. Well, she's more, her mother was a poodle, so she's more like the poodle. And she's got a long, slim tongue, and it just,
Yeah. So
like
what I would
off her face after an ice cream cone.
So what I would check for is sometimes dogs, they have lip folds. All dogs have lip folds on their lower lips, and sometimes those can get infected, and so they can start licking a little bit more. Sometimes they get really red if you just look in that area of the lip fold. You could have your vet take a look at that and see if that's...
So you pull the lip out. I could practically pull teeth on this dog. She's so mellow.
It's the lower... it's the lower lip. And there's a lip fold, and they can get what's called lip fold pyoderma, and that can be related to allergies. And it certainly, you'd want to have her teeth checked too and make sure there isn't any intraoral problems as well.
So is the lip fold on the inside of the lip or on the outside?
Outside. It's haired skin on the lower lip.
All right. Then should I be brushing her teeth?
Yes, absolutely. I will never tell a person no unless they've had oral surgery. If their dogs have or cat has had oral surgery, I will never tell them no, don't brush teeth. That's important.
Okay, so tell me what to do. I don't know. I've never. I mean, I brush my own teeth.
Yeah. So you
well,
have
that's
to use
a start.
Yeah.
So you know the process.
You have to use dog or cat toothpaste. You cannot use human toothpaste because you can't use the fluoride. And honestly, they make dog and cat toothbrushes. I personally don't use them. I just buy a cheap children's toothbrush that's extra soft bristles. I put the toothpaste on it and you go brush, 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 brush. You don't need to make it a chore. Sometimes just even letting the dog chew on the toothbrush with the toothpaste on it is good enough to, get the teeth cleaned up a little bit. But I certainly don't sit there and scrub every single tooth and make a project out of it. It's just simple. Brush each there's 6 sides. So brush the outsides of the tooth, front, back, and sides, and go from there. And you don't need to get the inside of the teeth because the tongue does the natural brushing action there. So that's good news.
So she's tending, she is also licking more of us and her, she'll lick the couch. I mean, if I'm sitting in the chair, she'll lick the chair.
Mm-hmm.
She's a big dog, so, I mean, she's not on the furniture, but she'll come up to me and we have a little cuddle and there's got to be some lick in it. But she'll lick her feet after she's been outside. And we live on a farm, so she's got a halo collar and has pretty much free roam. So, she could be just about wherever she wants in our farmyard.
Well, it sounds like she has a great life and she's got a great owner concerned about her. Yep.
Thanks for the call, Mary. Appreciate it. And let's get to Joan. Joan, you are on with Dr. Winning. Go ahead.
Hi, yes. I have a question. You're talking about brushing the teeth. I had a little wiener dog / poodle that he had a really bad tooth in the back, and we did have surgery and had it pulled out. Since then, he does not like his teeth brushed, and I was wondering, is that because of that or why?
Good question. I wish we could ask them why, but he may just have the memory of it being painful, and he remembers that, and he's scared to have you touch it. And so I would just work with him, do it very slowly. You don't need to, push things and make it uncomfortable for him, but try to get him to learn, hey, it doesn't hurt anymore. And so we can do this and it's going to be a quick thing and you get lots of reward for it.
That sounds good. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Good luck, Joan. Thank you. Someone said, which breed of dog has the longest lifespan?
Oh, my goodness. Chihuahuas.
The littler, the longer, right?
Uh-huh.
What does the vet think of using Prozac for anxiety in cats? Vet prescribed, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've used it a few times in cats. Again, behavioral medications, you have to, it's almost a trial and error, which works well. I mean, take feline hyperesthesia syndrome. I mean, there's a bunch of different meds that have been described to use for that condition. And I've used fluoxetine or Prozac in those scenarios too. So I don't have a problem with it all. Of course, we're using it off-label. We have to remember that. These are human medications that we're using off-label for animals. So, it's trial and error.
Someone else said, why does my neutered cat, who's about a year old in October, eat his litter? I've never heard of a cat eating litter. Have you?
No. I wonder what kind of litter they use.
I mean, maybe I always think whenever animals start eating things that they shouldn't, they're deficient in something and we change food. I don't know.
That's interesting.
That's weird. My girl cat, Mary, is a shedder, short hair with double coat. During the blowout season, I put my girl on fish oil and it has slowed the shedding. I hope it's safe for her. She loves her fish oil.
That's great. Yes, I try to get cats to take fish oil, and some of them will not. You would think cats would love it,
right?
But some, Not going there.
Okay, so so to the person who couldn't get their cat to stop shedding, maybe
you can try that.
Try fish oil. If you can. I couldn't get my cat to eat the fish oil. I tried for a long time.
Not uncommon.
Yeah. Dr. Derrine Winning with Valley Vet. How do they get a hold of you at Valley Vet?
We're at 3210 Main Avenue in Fargo. Our phone number is 701-232-3391, and we're online at valleyveterinary.net.
Thank you so much. We'll see you again next month.
See you next month.